Okay, so today we're going to do Chapter 8, Section 1, recognizing cylinders, cones, spheres, and pyramids. You'll be able to recognize cylinder, cones, spheres, and pyramids, and be able to identify cross-sections of solids. Okay, so a solid cylinder has a curved surface and two parallel bases that are congruent. So the curved surface, then the circles are at the top and the bottom. You have a height on the outside, and then the radius is halfway from the center of the circle to the outside edge. Okay, a radius of a cylinder is the radius of one of its bases. The height is the perpendicular distance between the two bases. A cylinder has some things in common with a prism. Both solids have two bases, but the bases of a cylinder are circles instead of a polygon. Okay? So if we scoot here, it says the cylinder has a net as shown below, so the net has a rectangle, and then the bases are circles. An object shaped like a cylinder can be called a cylindrical object. The net of a cylinder is made up of two circles for the two bases and a rectangle for the curve. If you take the curve and you fold it out, it looks like a rectangle. Okay, so now we have recognizing cones. A cone has one circular base, a curved surface, and one vertex. The curved surface of a cone is called the lateral surface. So here's what a net of a cone looks like on the right-hand side. You have the curved surface that ends up being kind of triangular with a curved bottom, and then the base is a circle, which was kind of cut off on here, but it's not on your paper. Okay? The height of a cone is the distance from the vertex to the center of the base. The slant height is the distance from the vertex to any point on the circumference of the base. So the vertex is the dot at the top. The height forms a perpendicular line to the base, so it's straight down the center, and then the slant height is like the side out here. Okay? A cone has some things in common with a pyramid. Both solids have one base with a vertex above the center of the base when the base is horizontal, but the base of a cone is a circle. So cylinders and cones have circular bases. Pyramids and prisms do not. Okay, so then we have a sphere. A sphere has a curved surface. Every point on the surface is an equal distance from the center of the sphere. The distance from the center of the sphere to any point on the surface is called the radius of the sphere. Each segment joining the center to a point in the sphere is called a radius. So all the way around a sphere is the same distance apart. An object shaped like a sphere can be called a spherical object. If you slice a sphere in half, you get two hemispheres or half spheres. Okay? And that's what they look like. Okay, so identifying a cross-section. A plane is a flat surface that extends infinitely in two dimensions. When a flat plane slices through a solid, the result is a cross-section. The shape of the cross-section depends on how the plane slices the solid. Suppose a plane could slice the Earth at the equator. The plane would divide the Earth into a northern and southern hemisphere. The cross-section would be formed. You would see a circle formed by the equator. Okay, so there's the northern hemisphere, the southern hemisphere, and the line across would be the equator. All right, so identifying a cross-section of a square pyramid. If you slice a square pyramid through AB, so where that yellowish orangey section is, you would, so that the cross-section is parallel to the base, the cross-section would be a square. So if you do it parallel, kind of reminds me of Fruit Ninja, that game. Like if you cut it, what would you have left? You can also slice a pyramid through its vertex. Okay, the cross-section formed is not a square. The cross-section formed would be a triangle. Okay, and you have pictures of all those right there. So like I said, the thing that makes me think of that you guys would be most familiar with would be if you cut something on Fruit Ninja, what you would have on each side when it slices. All right, so tell what cross-section is formed when a plane slices the solid as described. Okay, so there's pictures here and everything. So I'm going to have you try A, B, and C on your own, and then I will go over them with you. Okay, so a plane slices a rectangular prism parallel to its base, so you're kind of looking at the orangey section in the middle. You see a rectangle. A plane slices a triangular prism parallel to its base, and you can see again in the orangey yellow section in the middle is a triangle. And a plane slices a cube perpendicular to its base. Now the cube's not on here, but if you would draw one, you have a cube. Every direction it's going to be a cube, whichever direction you slice it. So a cube is made up of only squares, so whatever way you slice it, you're going to have a square. Okay, so that's why your answer for that one's a square. All right, nice job today. Pretty easy notes. We'll see you tomorrow.